How can you think this? Hello all. Look at this look today. I'm feeling like 90s, but like over the top 90s kind of vibes with my little like star clips, the butterflies. I did this like eyeshadow look today. Like I'm just like feeling it. I'm feeling like cute. It's a little weird up here, but we're just gonna... Hello all. Today we are doing a video which I've wanted to do. As you can tell by the title, I am reacting to your unpopular opinions. I put a thing on Instagram yesterday asking, so I got a few answers from Instagram, and then I also asked a couple of my friends, and so I have a nice list here of unpopular opinions that I'm going to react to and give my opinions on. Well, like a lot of people have definitely done this, but I got this idea from Luke Alexander. I love him. He's like a commentary YouTuber. His thing is like opinionated, like he loves giving his opinions on everything. So yeah, I got this idea from him, like all credit. Got my iced coffee. I got my free birthday drink today, so that's good. Let's go. Subscribe. Thanks. Okay, so number one, the politician is awful. This one is a little bit of like a cheat one because it is opinion I have and Tina has. So like this is technically like one of Tina's. Y'all, this show, The Politician, everyone was like raving about it. Everyone loved it and was telling me to watch it, and Tina's friends were telling her to watch it. So we tried watching it and it was horrible. Like we got, I think, like halfway through the first episode and we just stopped because it was just so bad. And then we tried it again like the next day or a couple days later because we were like, we have to be missing something. You know, like we gotta be missing something because everyone loves it, and it was just as bad. Like it was horrible. It didn't make sense and it was just like a bad show. But I don't know if we just like weren't in the mood for it at the time. The first time we weren't in the mood, and then we went in with like a negative mindset about it, so then it was bad. So we are going to watch it over the next couple days. We're going to watch it again because the second season's coming out, and I just will not give up on this. Tina wants to give up on this. I will not, because like we have to be missing something, you know? And if we try it a third time and it's still bad, like I'm done with it, but I just feel like we're missing something, you know? So let me know if you like The Politician. I agree. It's awful. Avocados are disgusting. No, I just don't agree. I know like avocados is like a trendy thing. It's like a big thing, but that's for a reason. Like they're good. They're good. Guacamole and like Mexican food, so good. Avocado toast, it's basic, but you know, like you know, it's so good. It's so good. And in like salad, in wraps, avocado is just amazing. And I know like a lot of people don't like the texture and they think it like tastes bland, which that's why you add seasoning, y'all, you know? But I do not agree. Avocados are 10 out of 10. This is also from Tina. Riverdale doesn't suck. That's just false. I just don't agree. It's bad. And I think that's a general consensus now. It took people long enough to realize it, honestly. I watched the first season, like when it was originally like came out, and the first season was good. And then I started the second season and I would like watch it every week as it came out. I wasn't feeling it the whole time, so then like a couple episodes in I stopped. I caught it early, you know what I'm saying? But people like still watched it and they're like, oh, it's so good. And now finally people are like, it's trash. Thank you. It's just not good. And I haven't seen it since like the first couple episodes of the second season, so I don't know like how it is now. But judging from that video of like the musical episode, I feel like I can confidently say that it is just taken a horrible turn. Next one is also from Tina, that country music is the best kind of music. How can you think this? Like, tell me, how can you think this? Please tell me. Country music is just, it's not like, oh, it's bad, like it's really not great. Like, no, like it is Tina's favorite kind of music, and that's just like, why? Like tell me why. I don't understand. I'm not super picky. Like I listen to all different types of music. Well, obviously I have like my favorite genre. I listen mostly like alternative, like indie, but I'll like a song no matter what genre it is. But country is the one thing I just cannot do. It all sounds the same. I hate the voices. Can't relate to any of the lyrics, and they're just very repetitive, and it's just bad on the ears. Like I don't understand. Sorry if you like it, but please, I hope you don't if you watch my channel, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, country music is trash. Writing essays can be fun. Who are you? Who are you? I'm sorry, I like talk with my hands like it's like a problem, but whatever. We're just gonna go with it. We're just gonna go with it. Writing essays is like my least favorite school task. I can never find the motivation to sit down and do it. I'll just sit there staring at the paper for days, for hours, and I just can't do it. It's also one of those things where I have to do it last minute or I can't get the motivation to do it. I hate essays. I'm so glad I'm in a major where essays aren't really a thing. My first semester freshman year, I had to write a lot of essays because I was in like a history class and an English class. But then since then, I haven't had to write an essay, except for this past semester. One of my classes was like an ethics class, so that was like, I had to write 2 essays for that. But like, all my like communications and like fashion classes aren't really like essays, so like I'm blessed. But whenever I do have to write one, like bruh. I hate essays, and if you think they can be fun, like that's just... Okay, my sister just sent me a ton and they're really good ones, so now I have a ton of ones to go through, which I could do like a part 2, but I think I'm just gonna do it all in one, so this might be a long video, but buckle up, okay? I don't like Beyonce. I don't really have any strong feelings either way. I don't listen to her music. I've never been like praise Beyonce, but I also like don't not like her. Like if her song's on somewhere, like I'll listen to it and I think she's like very talented, but I don't have any like strong opinions either way. I don't like Grey's Anatomy. I've met a couple people who haven't liked Grey's Anatomy, and I personally really loved Grey's Anatomy. I watched it, I think my freshman year of high school. So this was a long time ago, and I really liked it. It was like all the rage at the time, and I did really enjoy it, but I stopped the episode before Derek died. Spoiler, I'm sorry, but like everyone knows that, I'm pretty sure, because I couldn't like watch on, and then I haven't watched since, and I definitely think that should have been like the last season. They are still coming out with new episodes. Like, how do they have that much to do? And people who say that they are still watching it are like, why is this still going on? That's one of those shows that just needed to end, and they're on like what, season like 14 or 15 or something like that? That's like excessive. Sorry, that's excessive. I don't think it's a bad show, and I loved it at the time. I definitely don't think it should continue. I love pineapple on pizza. Yes, okay? Everyone hates on this, and I don't understand. I love pineapple on pizza. Like, that's my favorite type of pizza, is like Hawaiian or pineapple on pizza. I love it. I think like the flavors just go really well together, right? Like, why do people hate on it so much? Do you not appreciate sweet and salty? I don't get it. I know people like, it doesn't belong on pizza. Bruh. Pineapple belongs on pizza, and I agree with that, unpopular opinion. I've actually heard like a couple people say this. It is that Parks and Rec is better than The Office. I do not agree. I love both shows, but The Office is definitely funnier, more entertaining. I think the Parks and Rec like storyline is more present, but I also think that's how the show is both shows were supposed to be. Like, they're not supposed to be the same. I don't know why they're like pitted against each other, because they're really not similar. But I love both shows, but The Office is definitely better than Parks and Rec. I never put on Parks and Rec to just like watch. Twitter is toxic. I agree. I haven't been on Twitter in months because it's so negative. Every single tweet is about someone complaining. Funny stuff as well, but every single tweet is about someone complaining, or it's a lot of negativity. So I do think it is toxic if you are on it like too much. I get very overwhelmed with it like really easily, but at the same time, I do think it is the best social media platform in terms of conversation, because that's where people can like really show like what they feel, sort of thing. And I do think it is toxic because it normalizes mental health. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stuff like that is on Twitter as well, but it also, once again, is best for like conversation. Like, Instagram is definitely about like appearance, whereas Twitter, that's where the conversation happens, and that's the whole good thing right now with Black Lives Matter and like George Floyd. That's a really good platform for this kind of thing, and it's great to like spread awareness and like have the conversations that need to be had, but it definitely can be toxic. I do agree. I don't think James Charles should be canceled for everything. This is something that's been like around the past while, and I agree. Obviously there's a new thing that like cancel culture should not exist and is toxic, and like I agree. I've never really participated in cancel culture. It's one of those things where James Charles just is hated for like the stupidest stuff. It's just not necessary. Like, he's just living his life. Just let him be. I agree with that. And another thing I will add on, which is also kind of controversial, is Trisha Paytas. I think she is hated on excessively, and it's just not necessary. She has done some questionable and wrong things. I don't know what the better word is. If people call her out on that, like, that is a good thing. But if you go to any of her videos and she's just like sitting doing her makeup and talking, or like making food, people like comment on every single thing about her life. Your hair is gross. If you do this anymore, like, it's all hate, and like no one deserves that. What's the point of that? It's like become a trend to hate her. Like, if you don't like her, don't support her. Don't watch her videos. Every single comment is hate. She has done some things, so I totally understand if people don't watch her or support her, but like leaving hate comments constantly, like, uncalled for. You can't only like one type of music. I agree. Like, if you say I only listen to this type of music, like, you're just narrow-minded. Everyone has a music preference, which like I do, but I will never be like, I won't listen to that because it's in a different genre. You're just narrow-minded if you only like one type of music. Popular songs aren't good, they're just popular because of the artist. Example, Drake, and we'll get into Drake. I agree to some extent. I think a lot of times, example, Selena Gomez, like, I'm just gonna call her out. Why is she famous? Her songs aren't good, and like, who are her fans? She has so many fans, and like, the Selena fan base is crazy. Don't come for me, Selenators, or whatever you're called, but like, you're crazy. Her songs shouldn't be popular. Like, they're not good. Justin Bieber, like, Yummy, that's another like perfect example. Another unpopular opinion that was given to me was that Drake sucks. Once again, Drake is someone that I don't have strong feelings about. There are a couple of his songs that I enjoy, but I don't listen to them on like a daily basis or like a regular basis. I think he has had like good songs, but every time I've like tried to get into his music, I haven't been able to. I don't really have strong feelings. Like, I don't love his music, but I also don't think he like sucks. I don't know. I'm just kind of neutral. All rap sounds the same. Yeah, but it's another thing where I feel like you can say that for like any type of music. Like, country music all sounds the same. I don't hate rap music, but it's not my favorite. There are a few songs that I'll like and I'll listen to it like if it's on and someone else is playing it, but I don't listen to it on a daily basis. I don't know if it all sounds the same. I feel like to an extent it definitely does. David Dobrik's content isn't that great. Yes, I totally agree with this. The thing with David Dobrik is, like, I'm subscribed to him. I watch all of his videos because they're only like 4 minutes. They're exciting and you don't get bored. However, the type of content he makes, like, I honestly don't know why I like always keep watching his videos, because there are some funny things, and I think that's why I keep watching them, is because there are some funny things, but the stuff that he does, like, I don't personally find entertaining or funny a lot of the times. All of the crazy stuff, and where people like get hurt or like throw up everywhere, or like when they do the like explosions in his backyard, like that stuff, like, I don't care for that. So I agree with that. His vlog humor is very like teenage boy humor. You know, the people, like, I don't want to like shade anyone, but you know, people's very like basic humor where they think like people getting hurt is funny. That's the humor. Like, you know, like Try Not to Laugh compilations is people like getting hurt. I've never really found those funny. That's just not like my type of humor, and I think that's very basic level humor, you know? And that's kind of what his humor is, like people getting hurt and like people being in pain, and like that's personally just like not my exact cup of tea, but I don't think that he's bad, and like I appreciate like what he does. I do think it is overrated. These are two that like go hand in hand. They're about Friends. So the first one is Friends isn't that good of a show, and then another person said Friends is the worst show to ever exist. I don't agree. I like Friends, and I definitely like enjoyed it like when I first watched it. I've watched like episodes since then. I think it's a really good like feel-good show, but I do understand why people don't like it. And I do think it is very, very like overhyped. I don't hate Friends, and like I've enjoyed it while I watched it. Okay, this one is gonna be controversial. This is the most controversial one in here. It's better to sleep with socks on. Y'all don't go crazy now. I have never felt strongly about this issue. People a lot of times say if you sleep with socks on, you are a psychopath. And like, I don't agree, because I have like slept with socks on occasionally. Do not come for me, okay? There are some nights where I'm like, okay, I'll sleep with socks on, but usually I don't. There have been a couple of times where I'm like, okay, I'll sleep with socks on, especially like in the winter time, but usually I don't. But I don't think it is repulsive to sleep with socks on, but I don't think it's better to sleep with socks on. It's just like a different mood for me, but I know people feel strongly about this, so have your opinions. Okay, this next one is from my sister, and we've actually talked about this before, and it is that money can buy happiness. I agree with this. Money can buy happiness, but it doesn't mean happiness. You're happier if you have money and you can like buy things, but it doesn't make you happy. You know, like you can still be unhappy if you have money, but it does make you happier. I definitely agree with this. Money can buy happiness, but it can't make you happy. It can't guarantee happiness. Okay, this next one I just do not agree. And this is also for my sister. She says winter is better than summer. No. Winter is the worst season. I hate winter. I hate the cold. Driving in the winter or like being in the car in the winter because it's just like scary. I hate like the slush. I hate boots. I hate winter boots. They're so clunky and ugly and they don't go with anything. And like being a fashion major, like bruh. My skin is very dry. It's hard to walk to class. I hate the winter. Like, I'm sorry. The fall and the spring are like my favorite seasons, and like summer's fine, but like winter is just like the bottom, like the very bottom. And I'm also from like a very like cold place. So that's also like probably why. Wearing designer doesn't mean you have good style. Completely freaking agree. I will never buy a designer brand because it's designer. If I like something that a designer brand puts out, then I want it, or like if I had the money, I'd buy it. I definitely don't think a lot of designer stuff is fashionable, and I don't think that just because you wear designer that you're fashionable. Like, that's just not true. Like Gucci, I think most Gucci is like ugly. Wearing designer does not mean you have good style. Don't like buy stuff that you can't afford just because you think it's gonna make you look trendy. Like, no. And it's also like Gucci is like shit quality. Gucci is like the same quality as things that are hundreds of dollars cheaper, so just don't bother. Tomatoes are shit on their own but slap in things like pico. I hate tomatoes. They are disgusting. They're disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. They're my least favorite food. I think the texture is disgusting, the juice, the flavor. Ooh, I hate tomatoes, but I do like pico de gallo. So the things like salsa, I think tomatoes are good, but tomatoes in sandwiches, disgusting. Salad, gross. Everything except for pico, I feel like tomatoes are disgusting in. Like tomato on a sandwich. Tomato on a sandwich? Tomatoes on a sandwich? Gross. We're done talking about tomatoes. Breaks in relationships are stupid. I agree. I do think it depends on the person and the situation, and I think there are probably times where it's necessary, but I think you should just break up. Like, obviously I haven't been in that type of situation, so I don't know, but I think, yeah, just break up. And then if you find your way back to each other, then great. But I think usually breaks in a relationship end up just not being meant to be. Like, that should just be a sign that that relationship isn't meant to be, or you're not meant to be in a relationship at that time. I feel like it also like causes more pain to like be on a break, because then you're just like thinking about and like waiting till you get back together. Whereas if you ended it, it's easier because you're not like holding on as much. You know what I mean? Look at me, like relationship therapist. One more, and this is like kind of ending on like a deep note. Unconditional love doesn't and shouldn't exist. I agree. I think if someone does something horrible, like you should not keep forgiving them or just feel like you have to love them. Like, if they're a bad person and like toxic for your life, you have no obligation to love them unconditionally. I understand where that's something that's like important to people, but I feel like that just makes your standards low, and you're settling for people who treat you horribly just because you feel like you have to love them and you're miserable in life. Like, YOLO. You're better than that. Like, give yourself higher standards. Don't settle for people because you feel like you have to love them. You have no obligation, sweetie. Okay. Y'all, that was all the unpopular opinions. That was a lot. Thank you guys for watching. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. If you have any suggestions, leave them below. Let's take one more sip of coffee. First sip. I will see you guys later. Peace.